What's up, you guys? I'm Amber,
And I'm Patty.
and welcome back to another episode of Chromosomes and Chaos.
Two moms, two perspectives, and one badass podcast. All right, so Chaos Corner.
Chaos
Let's have it.
Corner.
I'll let you start first.
You want me to start?
Yeah, you told me you had a story.
And I'm gonna try not to cry because I'm
Oh
still,
no.
yeah, it's been a bad couple days.
Oh,
I can't believe you didn't see it on social media.
did you put it
Or
on
Lisa.
Instagram though?
No, not Instagram. I
Oh,
haven't posted there yet.
I don't actually have Facebook.
I know, but your wife, I was like,
Yeah.
I thought she would see it. But so I got scammed out of $2,000 yesterday.
Amber.
It was the scariest, so it's embarrassing, right? Like I'm like
Oh,
back to the
they're
conversation with this
everywhere right
guy
now.
and they're everywhere. And I was like, so it was like I was on the phone with this guy for an hour and a half. The kids were home, Tyler wasn't home. Okay, so how it came about was I had two, and I don't know, like I look back at some of these things and I share this story because I want to like help other
Awareness.
people and spread awareness on this because it's obviously happening. And I made a big Facebook post about it, and everyone's like, it happened to my coworker, it happened to me, it happened to my family member. And so had I been more aware of like, hey, this happened to somebody during this conversation, I might have thought about that and been like, this is a scam. So I had two private numbers call me, which I mean, we own a business, so I get random numbers calling me all the time. And then another number called me, and it was like an Indiana number or something. Now that I think about it, I'm like, that was probably a flag. So I'm like, well, is this an emergency? Do I need to take this? Because it was like three calls in a row. And he's like, hello, this is so and so from Dallas County Sheriff's Office. And supposedly, like,
No.
sheriffs, yeah, he goes, I just want you to know that, I mean, he said all the things, like all the right things,
Yeah.
manipulated me to no end. And it was like the emotional trauma afterwards that I was just shaking. It wasn't, yeah, losing $2,000 sucks, but it was just like what he put me through in that hour and a half with my kids and what my kids had to see when I found out that I got like scams and me freaking out and having a panic attack. Like and I'm still just like distraught from it all. But he called and said that I didn't show up to a court case and that someone came to my house on October 6th and I signed a summons that I would be at court and I didn't. And there's a warrant out for my arrest. I have all these citations. He gave me citation numbers and eventually got to a spot where he said, you need to come down and prove that you didn't sign that because right now, like you're in a lot of legal trouble.
Oh
It's a
no.
gag. What's it?
A gag
Gag
order.
order. So like, he's like, you cannot talk to anybody. We have to stay on the phone
No.
the whole time. And
Mm-mm.
I'm so naive to like,
I know.
I'm such a people pleaser. And right when I knew like I could potentially be in trouble with the law, like my tunnel vision was like, I'm literally going to do anything that this guy says because I don't break the law. And
As somebody who
there's like,
has broken the law before, I think that
and
I
so
I
Tyler,
I
so I was
got
on the
one of
phone
the
with
same
this
things.
gentleman, this that's a really nice word to use for this crook. I was on the phone with him, and Tyler, it was a perfect timing because Tyler had just left the house like 30 minutes before that, and he was doing a strength clinic that we put on
Yeah.
at Waukee. And I'm like on the phone with this guy, and he's like, you can't call anybody, you can't put your phone on mute, whatever. Now looking back, I'm like, because the
Yeah.
gag order, and I'm thinking
Yeah.
like been listening to podcasts and stuff. And so I'm like, well, I don't know what this is. Like, am I going to get in more trouble if I break this? So I text Tyler and I'm like, you need to come home as soon as possible. Like, I feel like this is an emergency situation and I need you here.
Yeah.
And then he doesn't see it and he doesn't see it. And I text him again. And then this guy just like keeps talking me into like thinking that I didn't show up in court.
Yeah.
And I was just hoping Tyler would see the text and come home, and then I could at least like have this guy on speaker because Tyler sees the bad in people a lot
And you see the good.
and I see the good,
Yeah.
which came to bite me in the ass this time. So he's like, you just have to think that everyone's bad and everyone's out to get you. And so,
Yeah.
yes, I feel like I'm an idiot for not seeing it, but it happens to a lot of
No,
people. And
it does.
it's just
I
like,
think I had the exact same call, and this had to have been a couple months ago, maybe like 5 or 6 months ago, and it was a Sunday. And I was like, in my head, they had called, and I was on the phone with them, and I think they had told me that I missed a jury duty or something along those
mhm.
lines. And I was like, no, thank you. Like, one, the sheriff's department does not make phone calls. They don't call you on the weekend. Half of my family is in law enforcement. I'll take it up with them. Thank
See,
you. I
I
told
know.
him
And
to
I
F off
wish,
and I
how do
hung
I
up.
become smarter to know these things? But I
No,
feel
but
so
yeah,
dumb. I'm like,
no.
I don't know
No.
anything about, and I thought that I'm like the sheriff's office, like this is weird, but like he said the trial date needs to finalize here in like 2 weeks, so like we've got to get this done today, but someone's at the
Mm.
sheriff's office like waiting for me to come down there, like all these things, and here I am so naive to be like, okay,
Were you able to like call the bank, block
we tried, and they're
anything?
like you can't because it's bank. If it's credit card or whatever, then you could,
Yeah.
but yeah, so
I really
that's
want
and
to
I
like
really didn't
move
want
the
to film today. Like
microphone.
I
Oh,
was
I'm
like,
so
no, it's
sorry.
not your fault, but it's just like
Yeah.
it's just the shitty time right now,
Yeah.
and I'm like. And so like this morning I wake up and it's just like reliving in my head of
Yeah.
like the over and over of and just how despiteful and like evil people are.
Yeah.
Like for this guy to be able to sleep last night when he heard the kids in the background and all these things, it's just like it's super unfortunate that we live in a world like this right now. But
That is awful. I've heard so many people and seen online about, individuals getting scammed out of hundreds of thousands of dollars and houses and mortgages and so many things. And, I have had emails come and like one got sent to my finance associate and it looked like it had been an email conversation of me and this person going back and forth, but he caught it because I have a very unique way that I sign my emails and like people know the way I talk,
mm-hmm.
and he caught it right away and was like, "Patty, what is this?" And I'm like, "That's not me." And
Yeah,
it's just people are getting so innovative and unique and
yeah, with AI
with
nowadays, like it's just gonna keep
AI
getting worse and
and
worse.
like the text messages that I get and like
Mm-hmm.
like I try to tell my mom and like, I think so many of them go after older people or those that like don't have as much technological
Right,
things and
awareness
stuff.
and stuff. Yeah,
Like the text messages that I
I
get, the
right,
emails that I
right.
get, the phone calls that I get.
And see, like I haven't gotten a lot of emails, which I would be better about emails. Like I'm not going to send anybody any
Yeah.
information via text or email.
Yeah.
But like this guy just got me on the phone and just convinced me that he
Yeah.
was like just
Next time,
it's
tell him to F off and hang up and call the
I
sheriff's
am.
department. Like,
Like that's what I learned
the
now. It's
thing
like why
is
does
like
it
a
take me
trust but
that to
verify,
if
right? Like, cool, thanks for this information. I'm gonna call
but
the
I was
sheriff.
so scared to do
Yeah,
that in that moment. Like that didn't even cross my mind because I'm like
yeah.
then I'm going to go to freaking prison. Like
No, Amber, you're not going to prison. No, 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 no,
but I'm like I
no,
don't
no, no,
know. I'm just yeah. So
no.
it's like a shameful thing, but if I can, and we called the cops and stuff, and they're like, this happens to a lot of people. He goes, the best thing you can do is just share your story so other people know
Yeah,
and they become more aware so they don't do the same thing.
I know that some people are like, have code words for emergency situations because they infiltrate like your family or say
Mm-hmm.
talk about your families and your kids and your things like that and just, yeah,
Yeah, because then that's the first thing I said was, well, where did I sign this at? Because I wanted to be
yeah,
like, do they know my address?
yeah,
And he's like, and he knew
yeah.
it. I'm like, okay, so that's kind of scary. Now that
Oh, they can get any
right,
information. It feels like public
so
records.
that I would say is my chaos corner. And then everyone was just in a really bad mood yesterday. The
It's
kids were like, "Are we
hard.
broke forever? Are we gonna? This is the worst day. My heart breaks. That's broke."
No.
At Porter goes, "My heart is broke."
Oh,
And I mean, they saw a lot
I'm so sorry. I
because
want to
then
like move this microphone and just give you a great big
yeah,
hug.
it sucks. It sucks so bad.
I'm so sorry.
Um, yeah. So I think that's all that happened really. I don't know. I
That
can't
that
remember
one
anything
thing.
else.
That's it.
I
That
can't remember anything else.
I feel like one, we've got some Q&As to do, but two, I feel like your Chaos Corner kind of goes directly into our topic today of kind of navigating heavy
Mhm.
seasons because that's heavy.
Yeah, it
And
is.
in the world right now is heavy.
Right.
Lots
Right.
of things.
Yeah.
And it's the holidays
Yeah,
and
right. And all this stuff. And
all of this
yeah,
stuff.
he's like, do I get to celebrate my birthday party? Like, and these poor kids, like,
They don't know the
they
difference.
don't.
Yeah.
And I'm like, guys, yes, at the end of the day, it's money. We're all safe. We're all healthy.
Yeah.
Whatever. I mean, there's two ways to look at it. I can sit here and
Yep.
cry and drown in sorrow for the rest of my life, or learn and be like, okay, I need to just chalk that up to a dumb mistake and learn
Yeah.
from it and work
Yeah.
more. The kids go, you can just go to work more.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
guys.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Good thing
Well
you
aware.
complain when
Like,
we're at
yeah.
work and then you
Yeah. Like, oh
So,
no. I mean, I I my chaos corner is still just kind of probably navigating the car situation. It's still not
mhm,
figured out. You
mhm.
know, the first estimate was $7,500 and then another I thought we got it fixed and then it didn't get fixed and lights came back on, so it's trying to figure
I
out
know.
cars and a backup car and
How you're getting everywhere at
how I'm
once,
getting
because that's a whole
everywhere.
thing. Yeah.
Yes.
Do they pay for a rental car?
No.
Dang it.
Insurance pays for rental cars if you are in an accident, not if
Gotcha.
something is just wrong with the
Yeah.
car. And
Okay.
so I think we've got it figured out, but it's still like switching cars and still finding it. And hopefully,
I wish we had that Crave car to give you. You could cruise that around.
oh,
There's some marketing
hey,
for it. A lot,
there you
if
go.
if you're a good driver.
I am. I have not had a ticket since
Oh my
St. Patrick's
gosh.
Day of
Can
2013.
you imagine you and the kids and the three kids in the
Yeah.
back? You'd
Yeah.
just be, that thing was a pimped out vehicle.
Yes, it was. No. So hoping, I mean, the new mechanic, not new, but somebody else that we go to because we got a second opinion is like, oh, I can cut that in half and
Good.
it's still going to be about hopefully not,
Right.
right? But like also, why would you give an estimate for $7,500 if that's not the actual cost of what it's going to take to fix?
Right. That's insane.
Yeah.
It's just, and
Yeah.
again, talking about scamming people. Like, I don't know if it was
Right.
out of intention to like
Right.
scam somebody,
Or
but
are you fixing things that don't actually need to be
need
fixed,
fixed. Right.
right?
Right.
I don't know. So it's just a lot,
Yeah.
but this last week on social medias, we put out a post to get some of your questions.
Mhm.
And so, what a fun time to answer a couple of those. And so, from one listener, it is, I just want to know what is your favorite thing about Addie and Pierce? Go ahead.
So yeah, I think just Pierce's demeanor overall. Like, I feel like back in the day, if this scam situation would have happened, I would have been more out of my mind, or
Yeah.
more like,
Mm.
were, I don't know. He just makes,
Perspective.
yeah, his this, thank you. The perspective he gives me on my life and like what's important
Yeah.
is what I love most about him. Like, and he's made our entire family and people that know him just be able to see like life, looking in life in a different lens, and how good it
Yeah.
can be, And so I think that would be
You
my
come
favorite
from
thing
a
is
place
he,
from a gratitude and
yeah,
abundance versus,
yeah,
yeah,
he's just, and since day one,
yeah.
that's been what we've really, I mean, obviously there's more than one thing. It's so hard to just, we did have a mini back conversation to be like, what is one thing like
There's
that
so
we've had
many.
some time to think about it. And I obviously like yours, and that's a huge one too, but I'm like, we can't use the same one. So I would just say the perspective that he gives me in my life, and
Yeah.
those, who know him, is one of my
Yeah.
favorite things.
I think for Addie, her laugh is one of
Mhm.
them, just like plain and simple. When she gets to chuckling and laughing and that belly laugh, it's the best thing.
Mhm.
But she has the ability to bring out the best in others and like bring people together, bring community together.
Mhm.
Um, I can't tell you how many times one of her teachers is like, she brings out the best in others because they want to be good people for
For-
her and around her
Yep.
and with her. There's just something magical about that extra chromosome.
Mhm.
And I will say, like, I have lived on my own since I was 15 years old. I have burned the candle at both ends. I am a go, 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 go. How many things can we fit in a single day type of a person?
Uh-huh.
And Addie has absolutely no sense of urgency for anything in her life and has forced me to slow down. Not in the sense of like I'm still a go 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 person,
Right.
but I can't do as many things
Yeah.
in a day
Yeah.
because I like to give her the time that it takes,
Mhm.
right? So
Mhm.
that there's there's a sense of urgency all the time for me and none for her, so we kind of balance each other out
Right. Right.
sometimes. And I love the fact that we get to school early so we can take our time to walk the quarter mile that it
Mhm.
took. We went on a bike ride 1 mile and
She's still doing good on her bike?
yes, she
Okay,
is.
awesome.
We went on a bike ride. It was 1 mile and it took us an hour.
It's good. It's good. Patience at its best.
It was like, oh, you want to be
What
all
does
the...
she do? She just like
She
gets off?
stopped.
She
She wants
like,
to go around the cul-de-sac. She wants to see the flowers.
right.
She wants to walk up on the retaining wall. She wants to look in the sewer. She saw a leaf. I mean,
I love it. And
I
it's
mean,
good. It's like, why? Because you don't need to do a fast mile.
no,
It's just you're there for
nope.
quality time. And
Yep.
that's, again,
Yeah.
the perspective in
She tried
life.
to get off the bike because she saw the playground. We're like, nope, we're not doing the park today. That was my mistake. Don't go by the park. Um,
Okay, so I think you gave three.
I know. So yeah, I know,
I'm
right? I
just
can't
kidding.
do one. It's not possible. Here, do another one
No,
for
you're good.
Pierce.
You're good.
Yeah.
It's all those things. It really is. His laugh is so funny.
Hmm.
It's yeah, no, it's so good.
Yeah.
All of them. The
I think if
community
you
and
want your days to, I always tell people, like, if you want your days to end in joy, or
mm-hmm,
if you just
mm-hmm,
want to see some magic in your life, is to love somebody with Down syndrome
mm-hmm.
or have somebody with Down syndrome in your life,
Yeah.
because they very much bring out the best in you, and they very much just the perspective
Mm-hmm.
and the
That's a gift,
lens.
100%. So
100.
true. So true.
Yeah. So, all right.
Okay, what's
Today,
next? Is that it?
yeah, we have the season of heavy.
Just doing one question?
Oh,
Are we doing two today? Do you
oh, we have
think
two.
should
What
we
was the
do
other one?
another one? Well,
Oh,
it kind of goes right into the
you
season of
both do
happiness.
a million things. How do you decide what?
Deserves your
Mhm.
energy and what to let go of.
I, not that long ago, saw a quote that really resonated with me, or this kind of idea of all the balls that we juggle and the million things that we do, some are plastic and some are glass. The plastic will bounce, but the glass are going to break. And so it's really about deciding what is breakable and what is plastic. For example, Cooper had his fall party the
Mm-hmm.
other day, and it was smack in the middle of the day, and we're navigating this car thing, and we're incredibly busy at work because I run a food pantry, and if you read the news or are
Yeah,
in
it's
reality, then
right
you
now
know
it's
that hundreds of thousands of people are either losing or delayed in their food assistance benefits. So my life has kind of turned upside down.
mm-hmm.
And it was just like, okay, pause.
Mm-hmm.
I'm leaving work. I'm going to Cooper's fall party because he is glass
Great.
and he will
You
break.
need yes, absolutely.
And so I think some of that is just really trying to figure out what 100% needs my attention, what is glass, what is plastic. And I think that it's also about understanding. I try really hard to be intentional and like not be on my phone at home or have that kind of quality time with the family and the kids, because work occupies so
Yeah.
much of my brain and time and things
Mm-hmm.
like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So I think
that's
that's how I try to decide, like,
great.
what gets my attention, what doesn't. But
Yep.
what about you?
I don't like I think about this and I'm so thankful that I have careers I love. Like
Hmm.
I
Oh
do
yeah,
things that I'm super passionate about.
absolutely.
So nothing ever feels like a job or a chore. It's
Yeah.
like the Energizer Bunny can keep going because
Hmm.
I at the beginning of this, I don't want to say I didn't want to do this podcast. I obviously always do. It's just it was a heavy time and I'm
Yeah.
like to just get out and talk and share a story.
Yeah.
Like that's what I had the hardest time with today. But like I love this. I
Yeah.
love obviously my kids. I love
Yeah.
the gym life. And so I think that's super important is obviously we have things that we do that we're very passionate about,
Hmm.
which keeps the engine running and
Hmm.
going. But very similar to you, like we work off of calendars and I'll look at my calendar and be like, okay, these 3 nights I'm not going to be home with the kids. So I need to be super intentional these two,
Hmm.
or, just utilizing my calendar to be like, these things, like you said, are going to break if I don't go there. So I have to be a part of that. Or, with the gyms, just being organized on what's most important at that
Yeah.
time for the gyms to grow, and what busy seasons of life are coming up on and all that stuff. But I don't know. I just think if I had careers that were just so draining, it'd be very hard to find things that
Yeah.
time to fill my cup up on other things. But and also I think as I've gotten older, I've learned to say no to more things
Hmm.
that I just don't think are gonna fulfill me,
Yeah.
and make me passionate to be there or anything like that. So, and that was a hard thing because I'm
Yeah.
a people pleaser and it's hard for me to say no to
Yeah.
things, but just knowing when I need rest, when I need to
Yeah.
just not associate around people because mentally I'm just exhausted and things like that. So
Yeah.
I think that's really helped too.
I think the other thing is, somebody told me this recently actually, that I don't have to be the person that does every single thing.
Mhm.
Um, and one of my staff, I said no to something, and then I told them, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, you said no?" And I was like, I literally the balance between capacity and capability. Like I may be capable, but I do not have the capacity
Right.
right now to do this.
Yep.
And saying my calendar is as full as I would like it to be, like saying no to things,
Yep.
trying to like say, give me 24 hours before I make a response, like not saying yes
Yes.
immediately.
Right.
Like I need some time to process, I need some time
Mhm.
to think. Um, Balancing some of that out and having conversations with Lisa if they are big things that do take time commitments. And what does that mean for the work and load
Yeah,
of our home life?
absolutely.
But like you, I love what I do.
Mhm.
And so
Mhm.
I get to go to work every day and it's always different. It's never the same. And
Mhm. Same.
it's just easy to love it.
Mhm.
And when you are passionate about what you do, it's easy to advocate for. It's easy to do it. It's easy to
Mhm.
wake up in the morning and say, "Yay!"
I get to go do it.
You
Yeah.
know, I get to have an impact on people
Yeah. Yeah.
and
And we're both in those
communities.
careers to be able to do that. And it's super
Yes.
fulfilling. But yeah, I would say that's how we figure out what energy to spend where, I think.
Yeah.
And it's different for everybody, right?
Yes.
I think everybody
Yes.
finds their own thing that works with them.
Mm-hmm.
And if you ever feel like something is not fulfilling your energy,
Mm-hmm.
then maybe it's something that you need to get rid of or
Yep.
find a change somewhere. And
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing bad with that. But I think it's sitting down and thinking about your passions and where the
Mhm.
energy is being fed to.
What works for you in your season of life right now may not work for you
Yeah.
in your season of life in 6 months,
Yep.
right?
Right.
And so it's always kind of reassessing and figuring out like, does this work for me? Does this work for my
Mm-hmm.
family?
Mm-hmm.
Can we, you know, do what we do?
Mm-hmm. And I think that goes into just navigating
Yeah.
heavy seasons,
Yeah.
right? And that's kind of the topic of today with the holidays coming up. It's a very special time of the year, but it's also
Yeah.
very busy for people.
Right.
It can be a very heavy season.
The
Just
world feels
the
heavy,
world
work
feels
feels
heavy.
unending, kids are wild and crazy, and
Mm-hmm.
somehow we're still
Getting
showing
scammed
up,
feels heavy.
trying to show up anyway. So I don't think this episode is really about like balance or burnout, but I think it's like, how do you show up with
Mm-hmm.
grace and
Mm-hmm.
compassion? And that's, I think, how do you give yourself grace?
That's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
It's so funny because I feel like I thrive on just busyness.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like you. I can't sit down and do nothing.
Yeah.
So if my life isn't crazy busy, and I'm also very type B, so which could be good and bad because I
Mm.
don't let things like necessarily stress me out to a level where I have to have perfection and um, making sure I'm doing everything like as
Right.
bad as that sounds 100%,
Yeah.
like, but I've learned to
Lower the
just
expectations.
kind of in some sense,
In
right?
some, in some. We have high expectations, but
Yeah.
yeah.
And I would say away like from my business side or the gym side, like we have young, you know, men and women in our spots of head coaches that we want to see growth in them and we want
Mm-hmm.
them to grow.
Mm-hmm.
And I've learned to let that go because they're learning, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to know everything I know.
Mm-mm.
And so it's just putting that lens on to be like, okay, we're helping these guys grow. So
Right.
I had to let go of that control of like, I know everything. This is how it's run. We all run things different and we like to give them the opportunities to shine themselves, and whether that's posting on social media, doing different reach outs to people who are interested in the gym, whatever.
Yeah.
So it's kind of let me just be like, give myself grace in that aspect to be
Yeah.
like, they got this, like,
Mm-hmm.
and give. I'm confident in these guys to do
Yeah.
these things, whereas I don't need to do everything all the time. So kind of like, not that I'm asking them for help necessarily, they're taking the lead on that,
Yeah.
but kind of just letting go of some things,
Yeah.
you know?
I think every season, like throughout the year, you ebb and flow through seasons of coasting and seasons of heaviness and seasons
Mm-hmm.
of just busy. And in my world right now, it is incredibly busy without the government shutdown, without families losing SNAP benefits.
Mm-hmm.
It is already
Mm-hmm.
busy, right? It
Yes.
is the holidays,
Yes.
and that is the single busiest time of the year for
Yeah.
us. And so coupling that with navigating all of these uncertainties, and as we watch so much pan out in real time
Mm-hmm.
with social media and the things that we're seeing, there are so many families that are affected,
Yeah.
right? And I
Yeah.
just have to give myself a pep talk every morning and every day, like, do for one what you would want to do for 100.
Mm-hmm.
We get to choose and control what we consume, how we show up, how we support others, how we can be a voice of reason
Yep.
or voice of
Yep.
reason, you
Yep.
know, and continue to do what we do with a smile on our face and joy in our
Right.
heart, you
Right.
know?
Yeah.
And so knowing that this season, and this will pass.
Mm-hmm.
One, we've been
Mm-hmm.
through it before.
Right.
I mean, being a nonprofit and social service and running a pantry, you know, we navigated a pandemic and,
Mm-hmm.
you know, we get through all of these things and the beauty of it, and I try to find like the gratitude and the beauty and the different
Positivity
perspective.
of it, because it's just, it
You
can
have
be very
to.
negative,
You
and
have
then it
to.
spirals out of control, right?
When things like this happen, the community shows up and responds in amazing ways.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm always completely humbled and thankful for how the community decides to respond and for how they show up
Mm-hmm.
and support their neighbors and support their friends, because there are so many things you can do, and most of the times people just want the invitation to help,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? And
Yep.
so giving that invitation to them
Mm-hmm.
is a big one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I, like you said, it's, you know, in seasons of heaviness, I try to not turn negative,
Yeah,
because again, like you said, I know this is going to pass. I
yeah,
know it's just a hardship that you have to overcome at that time,
yeah,
whether that's a couple days, a couple months, a couple
yeah,
weeks, whatever. But I used to, again, with age, getting better at it, like just dwell on the negatives all the time
hmm,
of the situation and how bad it was and how complain about it. And you have so much control over your mind to flip it into a positive of
yeah,
what's going to be the aftermath of this if I keep it positive. And I think that's helped me a lot throughout these times too, is just to see the positivity of what's to come and
yeah.
how this is just going to get better. It can't get much worse, right?
We had a staff meeting not that long ago, and I reminded everybody like we don't oftentimes get to see the outcome of our kindness.
Mm-hmm.
It's there,
Mm-hmm.
but sometimes we don't get to see it. But that doesn't mean we don't show up every day with kindness and
Mm-hmm.
compassion, especially in what we do when so many people who are in a scarcity mindset or defeated and just trying to figure out the next step,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I think sometimes it's also giving yourself permission to just show up as you are.
Yeah.
And I think one of the reasons why we wanted to start this podcast was just kind of that raw and real and unedited kind of version. You see perfectly curated posts and pictures
Mm-hmm.
and houses and decorations and Christmas trees and holidays and all of this
Mm-hmm.
stuff. And like, give yourself permission to be where your feet are
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
and whatever that looks like and
Mm-hmm.
just show up.
Yeah. And I think, you know, what I was just thinking about was the heaviness of a diagnosis, like
Uh-huh,
a Down syndrome diagnosis, and
uh-huh.
just meeting you wherever you're at in the process of it, right?
Yeah,
Because people handle it different.
yeah,
And that's a heavy season for a lot of
yeah.
people, is just getting a diagnosis. But then I think about how
Mhm.
that was one of the hardest times of my life, overcoming that, and how it got so much better, right?
Yeah,
Because that first 7 days was very hard, but look at the outcome that it came
yeah.
with it. And it's just instilled so much positivity into our life now,
Mhm.
and all the goodness that's come with it, that it's just reminds you that during heavy seasons, good can come out of it for sure.
Yeah. No, I would definitely agree.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's always a reminder like compassion doesn't end. You know, we have the ability to show up,
Mm-hmm.
and it always doesn't always look like grand gestures. And sometimes it's a hug.
Right.
Sometimes it's a hi, how are you? Sometimes it's a how are you really doing? Sometimes it's giving people the permission to be themselves. It is, you know, I have a good friend of mine, and I know she's going to listen to this podcast because she does. Um, and she just reminded me on Friday about a conversation we had. And this conversation was a couple years ago. And I just told her, like, she was trying to explain something to me about herself, about a reason why she wasn't coming over to a party that we were having,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, hey, you some things are not for others to understand,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
As long as you understand it and you're cool with it, I'm
That's all
cool
that
with it. That
matters,
all that
right? That's
matters.
all
Like,
that matters.
just some things are not for others to understand, and just letting people be who they are and
Mm-hmm.
giving compassion and reminding, like, as owners and leaders and, you know, our staff are human, we're human,
Mm-hmm.
and giving that grace and the
Right.
humanity that comes with navigating ebbs and
Right.
flows.
Well, and I think in your friend situation too, it's like if you have a friend that comes off in a negative, like say
Yeah.
you were like, no, you can't, you have, like, that's giving my energy. I'm not going to give my energy to
No.
people like that. Like my circle of friends and family and
Hmm.
acquaintances is people that give me energy.
Hmm.
They don't take my energy away because I
Absolutely.
just don't have time for that. So if you
Yeah.
have those people in your life that make you feel a certain way, maybe it's time that you start looking at the energy they give you
Right.
and not associate with them because
I
it can be very draining.
I very
Very
much
draining.
used to match energy, and now I don't match energy. I try to set the standard,
Hmm.
right? And so no
Hmm.
matter what energy you're giving, no matter what we're doing today,
Yeah.
like I'm still gonna be me. I'm still gonna come at you with, kindness and sometimes a smartassness and sometimes a joke and I don't know, an awkwardness that I do so well sometimes. But yeah.
And we just live in a crazy world where the you notice the posts on social media that are the real raw posts, they get so much engagement and interaction because you don't see that a lot anymore.
Hmm.
We always see the highlight reels of people's
Yeah.
life, and do these people ever go through hard times? Because sometimes it's hard to be vulnerable in situations,
Yeah.
right? Behind the camera, it's like you want to show all the good things that are
Yeah.
going on in your life. So then I think we can compare or feel like these people have so much goodness going on in their life. Why are all the bad things always happening to me?
Yeah.
And I think it puts everybody in a hard spot to think like, gosh, this sucks for me. But I think there's a lot of things that suck for a lot of people,
Yeah.
but we just don't show those sides of it
Yeah.
as much as we do the good sides.
I would agree.
So it's just a weird world. Like back in the day, we didn't have social media.
No.
There was no
Mm-mm.
comparison. There was no what's Patty doing today? Why isn't where is she at? Like things like
Yeah.
we would just call each other. We wouldn't be able to see, right? So there's definitely some positives to be able to stay up with people and keep up
Right.
with their journeys and their life and stuff. But there's also, I would say, a very negative
Are
side
you a
that
texter or are you a talk on the phone person?
neither. No,
Don't
no,
talk to
I
me.
would say I would rather text. I've been loving voice text lately though.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
so it's a mix between both.
Okay.
But if someone calls, I'm just like, it depends on my mood.
Okay.
And the times I want to talk, like when I'm driving to Omaha or Sioux Falls, nobody picks up the fucking phone. And then they call me back and I'm like, don't want to talk right
Yeah,
now.
you
Like
missed
your
your
time,
window.
yeah, your
You
window
missed it.
was four
We're
hours ago.
closed.
So what do you want? No, but it's always awkward. Like, and I try my best when someone calls, unless I'm cooking dinner with the kids, unless I'm
Yeah.
being intentional about my
Yeah.
time to answer,
Yeah.
because I'll never be like, I don't want to talk. What do you
Hmm.
want? Unless it's my husband.
I don't want to talk to you.
No, but yeah, what would you say you are?
Oh, I'm a talk on the phone
Talk on
person.
the
I
phone.
would
Yeah.
much
Yeah.
rather have a conversation than text.
I guess.
One, I think texting back and forth, it takes up so much time.
Yeah.
We could have a conversation.
I guess it totally is like today when we were texting about
Yeah.
what time we're coming in.
Yeah.
To me, that was fine though.
That was fine. Yeah.
Like, but long
Yeah.
conversations, if we have
And
something to like talk about for a while,
I
I would
love
want
it
phone call.
just to I like to just randomly call people.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
Like that was one of the reasons I used to, in a former job, have to drive to a couple different counties. And I would call people and I would call my dad and he would be like, "Oh, where are you driving to now? Because you only call me when you're driving." Or a friend of mine that lives in Atlanta or my best friend in,
Mhm.
Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Most of my phone calls, yes, are in the car,
Right.
right? Because
Right.
that's when I can find a moment where I don't have crazy kids
Kids
or
yelling
things
in the
or
background
a
or
million. And
right.
so I enjoy just calling them and saying
Hmm.
hi.
Yeah. It totally depends. If it needs to be a long conversation, absolutely pick up the
Yeah.
phone call. If it's a quick like, hey, I don't know. My friend that lives in Sioux Falls, what time you're going to be here today? Because
Yeah.
she comes for work trips, like things
Yeah.
like that you
There's
don't need to
that.
call. It's just more quicker
Yeah.
conversations. But yeah, it totally depends on the mood
I have a friend of
too.
mine who still writes letters.
Oh my gosh, that's
Hmm.
awesome.
He does.
That's so well. When a new athlete joins the gym, we actually send them a letter in the mail,
I
like
love
a
that.
handwritten
Yeah,
postcard, and people love it
that's
because
awesome.
they don't get that anymore.
Yeah. Nope.
Nobody
Yeah.
gets that. So the great job out of your friend to keep that going.
What is something that you do in the season of where you're feeling overwhelmed or heavy that you do for you? Like, how do you recharge? Like, what is something that okay, we're in a season, it's gonna be a mess. How do you kind of anchor yourself? Is there
Hmm.
something?
Gosh. I would say probably just asking for more help. So
Okay.
my mother-in-law watches our kids a lot. My mom does a fantastic job coming down when I need it.
Yeah.
So I would say I've just become more accustomed to asking for help.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm going to be at work later, or I have all these
Yeah.
events going on. Can you watch the kids? So sometimes you have to sacrifice family for work or vice
Right.
versa, work for family.
Yep.
So just, or getting a sitter to come over
Yeah.
to watch the kids if it's not my mother-in-law. But I think my biggest thing is just I've learned to ask for help. Or,
Yeah.
I had a lady that came and did laundry for me for a few months
Yeah.
because I just didn't have the capacity to do it. So I just asked for help because that's one less thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like all morning this morning, I've been doing laundry. It's just a
No.
headache. But it's a time suck. And
Yes.
socks freaking get eaten by my dryer.
We literally
Socks
just
are
went
my
through every
worst
single
nightmare.
sock in our house yesterday.
Yeah.
There was this huge pile of socks on our living room floor because every morning this last week we have this
Oh
box
yeah.
by our bed that just
It's
has a bunch, and Lisa would be like, ugh, ugh. And she like goes through it and she has like these exasperated because I can tell she's so I'm like,
yes.
I'm done with your noises. We're going through the sock basket.
Right. And but
Love
ours
you.
was like that for a week and a half recently.
Yeah.
And then the kids go upstairs, where in the morning, and then so it's already chaotic. Where are my socks? But
Hmm.
they give me grace. They
Yeah.
do. They don't hold it to me. I'm like, go get you some because I know that they're in that freaking basket. I'm not
Yeah.
folded. So this morning I folded socks too. And
Oh
it's
yeah.
just asking for help in
Yeah.
busy seasons
One of
has
the
been my saving grace.
greatest things that I went through, I think, was recognizing that I'm not Superwoman,
Hmm.
that it is okay to ask for help.
Hmm.
And again, sometimes people just want to be invited, right?
Hmm.
Like, hey,
Yep.
and again, asking for help. For me, I also think I have not done a really good job lately of my routine. Like what,
Right.
like getting to the gym at 5 a.m. because we've been
Hmm.
navigating awful sleep and musical beds and Addie
Hmm.
CPAP and just chaos. And
Hmm.
so, like, I know tomorrow's going to be the single busiest day of the entire year, and I am
Yep.
committed to be at the gym at 5 a.m. So, you
Strength
coming?
season.
Oh, is it?
Thanks. Yeah. Season just starts on Monday. Where have you been? I thought that's why you're going because it's strength
No,
season soon.
we
You
were,
like endurance season
I
though. You don't
do.
mind it because
Yeah.
you
I
like your
ran this
running.
morning and it felt
Yes.
fantastic. And I just need to get back onto my routine. And it's so easy to say, no, I won't do it or I'll do it
Hmm.
later. But just getting up and having those minutes to myself
It's
before kids wake
Yes,
up.
it's huge. And just that mental clarity that it
Yeah.
gives you. Because when I don't work out, I am so crabby
Yeah.
just because I've just been
I
doing it for
know.
so many years
Yeah.
that it's like all that tension like
Yeah.
builds up inside me. And I'm
The
like,
kids I
just,
used to work with be like,
oh,
Miss Patty, you didn't work out today, did you? And I'm like, how can you tell?
and over the days, like I'll do it later. Like
Yeah.
there's no doing it later.
No, no.
Like I have to do it in the morning,
Yep.
otherwise it doesn't get done.
I'm a morning worker outer
Hmm.
or like over my lunch break.
Yeah,
But after work, I just want to be home. I am done. I'm
done,
exhausted.
done.
I'm at
Right.
my
I know
energy
those people
battery.
that come at 4:30, 5:30. I'm like, props to you guys.
Yeah.
Like, aren't you just exhausted
Yeah.
just from work
But
all day and stuff? But
it's how,
everybody
how do
finds
you
a
fit
routine,
it
but
in?
that's a great one
Yeah,
too. So,
absolutely. Well, one, if you have questions for us, we'd love to answer them.
hmm,
Yep.
yep. Post your questions below, like, follow, share,
We'd
and
love to
thank
hear
you
from you.
guys for being a part of this journey with us. See you guys
Absolutely.